Welcome to the racetrack. Eek. So, once again, we have returned from the 24 hours of Lemons, but this time it's in Pittsburgh, aka the Pitt Maneuver. We had quite an interesting first race, which you might remember. If not, go check out the other video. It's a good one. And we went through a ton this last couple of months in order to prep the car for our second race. But you might be asking, how do you prepare for the 24 hours of Lemons?
Well, after blowing your diff on the last day of the last race, you spend the entire winter with your team sorting the car out again, then make sure all of your gear fits, get on a plane and fly 3,000 miles from San Francisco to Boston, and then take a late night flight to Rochester, where you're reunited with your car, which has been resurrected from the dead.
Wait a minute. Are those side pipes on a Saturn wagon?
No fucking way, man.
Yes, they are, and they sound incredible. But we'll get back to that in a minute. After last year, we decided that we needed a theme, and since the car is green and we all met in Rochester, it seemed only fitting to polish off a fridge pack of Genesee Cream Ale and paint the car to match their green and white cans. Then you load your race car into the trailer, tow it out to your teammate's house where you have a brand new Ram 1500, and okay, I'm done with Thriller now. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. We've been on the road for 5 minutes, and we've already stopped at Home Depot in order to readjust the balance inside the trailer, because as we get up to about 65, the truck is starting to get a little bit of instability with it. And I'm grabbing some Rain-X since it's going to be raining the entire weekend. What's going on?
Oh no, it doesn't go into reverse.
No reverse. It's almost like we took the gear out, huh? Oh yeah, did I not mention that? The car doesn't have reverse anymore. After we blew the differential and we had to rebuild the transmission, it turns out things don't always like to go back together very nicely after they partially explode. So the compromise was just to leave reverse gear out completely, which is fine because race cars don't need reverse, right? Wow, that's helpful.
I did that.
You did.
Defroster, lights,
It's useful.
high beams that we cut out with the Sawzall.
Alright.
Time to engine explode.
You can just TPIR rules.
So I'm here in the back of the trailer. We learned from our mistakes last time, and we now have a spare engine.
I know turning is hard.
No, that's not good. Where's it coming from?
Probably the
The valve cover? Alright, that's not too bad then. Okay, so it's 11:56 right now on Friday test day. Derek's been out once. Our new driver, Dave, who missed the race in New Hampshire, is on the track right now. It's his first time ever driving the Lemons car, and actually his first time on track, so this is kind of interesting. And now it's time for the most time-honored tradition of the 24 Hours of Lemons, BS inspection. If you don't remember this from last time, it's basically to see if you went over their $500 budget, and they're going to assess you some penalty points.
You're decked out like you're from Rochester.
We all, yeah.
I saw the Jenny Creed. You're living your best Rochester way.
I think that was part of our penalty. Was we were supposed to apologize to Eric Rude.
Very sorry. You did apologize.
Yeah.
This is from the other Saturn team.
Elmo's Revenge. They, yeah.
You got.
We got what?
You got their good motor.
We did.
Is that why it makes no compression?
It's like the Titanic. Oh god.
Dude, that's cleaner than my daily.
Yeah!
You can't race with this in the car. Are you sure?
We're a killer
No
wagon.
problem with you guys running in class C.
Thank God. So that's a clean referral to Class C, the slowest class, because we're pretty slow, which is where you want to be. Now we got to go come to grips with the rest of our competitors for the so-called Saturn Cup, which was also occurring that weekend. That's incredible. That's the best thing I've ever seen. Dude. Jesus Christ. Okay. Does this work? Yes. Side note, these guys were awesome. They came up to us and talked shop for like 20 minutes, told us all about their car, which is like fully built. They're a bunch of automotive engineers, and this thing has like custom suspension, individual throttle bodies, like all of this crazy stuff. And they gave us these awesome stickers that had the Saturn and the Lemon logo in them, but they'll come up later. So things were going pretty well on the test day until we got a black flag. Yeah, it's not good. I don't like this at all. Oh, there he is.
It's moving under its own power.
It is indeed moving under its own power.
Probably got stuck out there or something. We're just, letting us know that there's smoke coming out of the car.
Okay.
Oh, I need to get an open wheel racer.
Like if you had a rich uncle who happened to pass away and leave you $1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. It is about 4 p.m. We noticed a valve cover gasket leak earlier, and just kind of seemed like it would be okay, but it turns out that it's leaking pretty hard. And so the smoke is from the oil dripping out of the valve cover gasket into the exhaust manifold, which is not great. So we're gonna redo the valve cover gasket. This is gasket maker. And we're gonna try to see if we can get it to seal nicely. That's always been messed up because those holes are terribly stripped. So not gonna go for the last test session, but should be okay. The car's been driving really well, so we're actually pretty happy about it. And then, out of nowhere,
Fuck your life! Bing bang!
this is insane. Okay, so next morning, we retapped the top of the head where the valve cover gasket seals up. Went to the driver's meeting.
We have a bunch of crap to throw directly into the crowd for you.
Got Dave in the car.
All right, excellent.
We're not in shot moving windows for weight reduction. You want to help them with that there?
And got out on track to make the grid. So right at the end of the formation laps, we saw Dave going around really slow, and the car's stopped in the pit lane right now. We have no idea why. That's what I want to see. Walking to go pick up our car. Oh my God. Dave lost power, and it's snowing again. Amazing.
The gauges all dropped to nothing and like kind of kept flickering.
Ah, shit.
So it feels like an electrical problem, but
Okay.
that's just misfiring. No crank, no start.
Okay, that's not great. All right, so the car starts. It looks like it might be the alternator. We're pretty sure it is. There's no other explanation. Well, nice little trip down the paddock to the lovely other Saturn team has resulted in obtaining a possibly compatible alternator. So we're gonna head back and take a look if this one connector fits up properly. And then we'll probably be in business. Otherwise, we're driving to Pittsburgh.
Soaking oil. Where's the connector in it?
Boom! We're in business.
Yes, go.
We're in business. Okay, so the new alternator is in. The rainstorm has stopped. And we're gonna see if the car will start up and hold the charge of the battery. It should be good. Well, after our emergency alternator repair, car went out for a couple of laps, and apparently it's coming back in.
I'm getting really good at getting towed back.
I'm now a weather expert on wherever the fuck we are. Just go, you don't need it. You're good, dude.
So we're currently extracting the battery from Joe's car. It's 12 o'clock right now, and we just swapped Joe's Volkswagen battery in to try to solve the issue. Jesus!
Car's dead again.
So the car's off again. It died in the hot pit when we were swapping drivers. And it looks like it's possible that when we did the alternator, there was a wire that got missed. Everything else seems fine, so let's take a look. Okay, day one is done. We did over 85 or 90 laps. The car had very few problems, but tomorrow, looking forward to it. I think the weather should be better. As long as it doesn't snow again today, that would be wonderful.
Left is loose.
Yep.
Big and true.
So right now the problem is that we discovered that our wheel bearings are completely shot in the front on the passenger side. On the driver's side, they're okay, but we're still gonna do it. So we have to pull the hubs out, get the bearings out, and then press them back in. So it should take a couple of hours, but it's not gonna be that bad.
Today I am Hammerman. We are all Hammerman.
So we're gonna use this to hammer out the bearing that's bad. So that has to come straight out the bottom. So there's no power where we have our truck and our trailer, so we're going to cut the bearing races out. And now, allow me to introduce you to one of the craziest things that I've ever seen actually work.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
So Jared is doing.
So what's going on here? Normally you would press those wheel bearings into the knuckles with a press, but we didn't have a press. So what we did is we put the knuckles in the fireplace so they very slightly expanded, and we put the bearings in the freezer so they very slightly contracted, and then this happened.
Dude, calculate all this shit with the CPE difference and his materials.
Yeah, I definitely did that.
Oh my God. Mother of God, I can't believe that worked. Anyway. So it's about 8:10. The guys are reinstalling the knuckles on the car, and it's snowing. It's gonna stop, but for right now it's snowing, so this is fun. Okay, so green flag, day 2. Rich is getting in the car. Everything works. We got the wheel bearings and knuckles back on, and it's time to go. And that's it. 67th out of God knows how many. But we finished, and the car still works, which is much more than I can say for the last race we were in.